Shalom, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about borax. Now, most of you have probably seen this on supermarket shelves, at least if you were in the United States. And I have come across some information lately from some YouTube videos and from a particular article that I want to do some reading from about the health benefits of this. And I think it's well worth the time to discuss it a little bit and bring these things out. So I'm going to be reading a little bit from an article entitled The Borax Conspiracy. And this is an article from a man named Walter Last, and the last name is spelled L-A-S-T. He is a retired biochemist, a research chemist, a nutritionist, and a natural therapist based in Australia. This article is from April of 2012. Again, it's called The Borax Conspiracy. I'm going to leave a link in the description box if you want to read this whole thing. It's kind of a long article, but it's worth it. There's a lot of good information in it, so I'm just probably going to read maybe I don't know, 10-15% of it or so. Try to cover the salient points. So it starts out, and the title of this section is entitled "How the Arthritis Cure Has Been Stopped." Okay, and it reads, "It is difficult to imagine that borax, this humble cleaner and insecticide, has the potential to bring down our economic system single-handedly." Now, on this note, borax is one of many things that are out there. Information about this has been suppressed by big pharma and the medical industry at large in this country, in other countries, because this world system is all connected. It is the beast system as prophesied in the book of Daniel as the fourth beast system. So, things that are truly healthy for us and will undermine the profits of big pharma is generally going to be suppressed. And people who are influential in bringing this information out are usually, if they are doctors, okay, if they have influence, if they are, kind of along those lines, and they're just going to kind of go against the grain and start discussing these things and bringing this information out, usually they are discredited. There is a very, very severe attacks on their credibility will be launched, and sometimes they're even murdered. Okay, but just to discuss that a little bit, let me continue. Borax and boric acid have basically the same health effects with good antiseptic, antifungal, and antiviral properties, but only mild antibacterial action. Boron is essential for the integrity and function of cell walls. It is essential for healthy bone and joint function, regulating the absorption and metabolism of calcium. Boron deficiency results in the raising of the blood level of calcium by releasing calcium from bones and teeth. This then leads to arthritis, osteoporosis, and tooth decay. With advancing age, high blood levels of calcium lead to calcification of soft tissues, causing muscle contractions and stiffness. Calcification of endocrine glands, especially the pineal gland, now that's very important, so hold on to that, and the ovaries. Arteriosclerosis, kidney stones, and calcification of the kidneys, ultimately leading to kidney failure. Okay, so that's boron deficiency right there. In the 1960s, Rex Noonan, PhD, D-O-N-D, I'm not sure what D-O and N-D stand for. He was then a soil and plant scientist in Perth, Western Australia. He developed arthritis. Conventional drugs did not help. Imagine that, huh? But he realized that plants in that area were rather mineral deficient. Knowing that boron aids calcium metabolism in plants, he started taking 30 milligrams of borax a day. And in 3 weeks, all pain, swelling, and stiffness had disappeared. So when I read he started taking 30 milligrams of borax a day, he was ingesting it. So you see something like this in the grocery store, and you're thinking, and it's in the detergent section, you're thinking, you don't even think about it. You're not going to consume that. It's detergent, right? Well, actually what this is sodium tetraborate, and then in parentheses it says a natural mineral. Now that's important. We're going to cover a little bit from the word regarding that. Okay, but it's a natural mineral. Okay, this is something that naturally occurs on Earth. But who would know this? Now, of course, it does say here, on the side that you shouldn't ingest it. Okay, of course, it's going to tell you that. And if you don't know about this, if you don't know how Big Pharma operates in the first place, and that this is not an industry that is actually working for your health, okay, but is suppressing information about things that are very healthy that could undermine their stream of huge profits, okay, then you're not even going to think about these things. They're not even going to occur to you. Okay, so anyway, back to Rex Noonan. Eventually he had tablets made containing 3 milligrams of boron, and only by word of mouth he sold 10,000 bottles a month. When he asked a drug company to market the tablets, it indicated that this would replace more expensive drugs and reduce profits. There you go. It so happened that it had representatives on government health committees and arranged that in 1981, Australia instituted a regulation which declared boron and its compounds to be poisons in any concentration. He was fined $1,000 for selling poison, and this successfully stopped his arthritis cure in Australia. Now, arthritis is a big deal. This is a very common thing. So you find something as simple as this. This man starts taking 30 milligrams of borax a day. He had arthritis. Conventional drugs didn't work. In 3 weeks, all pain, swelling, and stiffness had disappeared. Okay? What are you going to do? Well, he wants to inform others. He wants to get this going. Okay? The establishment, the beast, shut him down and called that poison. Okay? Calling good evil and good evil, and evil good, essentially. Okay. Dr. Noonan once saw a baby girl aged 9 months with juvenile arthritis, and borax cured her in 2 weeks. Boron deficiency causes large amounts of calcium and magnesium to be lost with the urine. A borax supplement reduces this loss by nearly 50%. As the lost calcium comes from reabsorbed bone and teeth, boron deficiency is the most important factor causing osteoporosis and tooth decay. Okay, so what's been said on other YouTube videos that I have watched is that for a low to medium weight person, what you would do is mix 1/8 of a teaspoon of borax in with 1 liter of water. All right, and then for heavier weight people, you would mix 1/4 of a teaspoon in a liter of water. Okay, and you could stir that up and consume that. Now, what I've been doing for the last, say, 2 weeks or so is I've just been taking a regular spoon and just putting a little bit of it on the end of a spoon and just putting it in water and drinking it once a day. Because I'm not going to cover it here. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link to this article, but you could read about toxicity, and it's not dangerous at all. So if you wanted to consume the whole box, well, there might be a problem there. But from what I have gleaned, you don't need to worry about that. I think that regular table salt is more toxic consumed in large amounts than borax. Okay, borax, similar to the equally endangered Lugol solution, I don't know what that is, can also be used to remove accumulated fluoride and heavy metals from the body. Now, this is probably the number one reason why I wanted to make this video is to discuss this aspect of borax. This is how I came across this information, because I have been going out to friends' houses to get, well water in glass bottles, and I've been drinking that. But, that can be a lot of work. That's a lot of trips and so forth. So I was like, well, what can I do, regarding, fluoridated water, because most bottled water is fluoridated as well. It's not going to tell you right on the label, this contains fluoride, this does not contain fluoride. Fluoride is just something that is put in our water, in city water supplies and in bottled water. But it is a neurotoxin, and it is very bad for you. It can accumulate. It accumulates in the body, okay, and it essentially serves as a poison. Studies have shown that it lowers IQ, and this is one covert method by which this beast system attacks humanity, okay? It is to make us docile and make us dumber, okay, without us knowing that we're under attack. And fluoride is one of these methods by which this is done. So I thought it was really cool to see that the ingestion of borax can actually remove accumulated fluoride that is built up in the body. Okay, so now fluoride also will result over time in the calcification of the pineal gland, and apparently borax will help to decalcify the pineal gland. Okay. Fluoride not only causes bones to deteriorate, but also the pineal gland to calcify and the thyroid to become underactive. Borax reacts with fluoride ions to form boron fluorides, which are then excreted in the urine. Okay, this is an important matter. Okay, because if fluoride is put in the water, it is either for, like the establishment tells us, it is supposed to be good for children's teeth, but, think about that. Does the establishment, do the governments of this world care so much about children's teeth that they need to put some sort of chemical like this in the water supply, or is there another reason? Well, guaranteed there is another reason. It's because it's a neurotoxin. It is an attack on us, and one of the other effects of fluoride over time is that it results in people that are apathetic, and it results in people that are docile, and they just will not really take a stand, on things that matter. This was, fluoride was used by the Nazis as well. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that, the results of the calcification of the pineal gland, it can result in, I have a discussion on this channel, and it is a discussion by a woman who's a doctor named Rima Lebeau, and she has done some excellent work in health and so forth. She's very outspoken about the New World Order and these sorts of things. I've got it on this channel. She says in this particular discussion that the calcification of the pineal gland results in the destruction of a person's moral compass. Okay, and then the question is posed as she says that, what result will that be on an entire nation? Okay, if we're all fluoridated? Well, the results, of course, are devastating. I mean, that's a terrible thing. That's a crime against humanity. Okay, so we have something as simple as a box of borax, which you can buy for like $5, and that's going to go a long, long way as far as this goes. I mean, it's just dirt cheap, and again, it's going to undermine these massive profits that Big Pharma and the medical establishment, seek to reap from your illness and your unwell being. Okay. Okay, so this is from a post that is included in this article regarding basically a person's testimony on their use of borax, okay, and what the result was. And it reads, 7 years ago, thyroid cancer, the next year, adrenal fatigue, then early menopause. The following year, uterine prolapse followed by hysterectomy. The following year, fibromyalgia and neuropathy. Early childhood was fluoridated water along with fluoride tablets. Fall of 2008, I was looking at total disability. I could barely walk and couldn't sleep because of the pain and was throwing up daily from the pain in my back. After reading about fluoride, I came to understand where all my problems originated. I began the borax detox of 1/8 of a teaspoon in a liter of water, and within 3 days, my symptoms were almost gone. I mean, that's amazing if that's true. I mean, I think it's great. Okay. For boron to be fully effective in reversing tissue calcification, ample magnesium is required. That's just, this is something I've seen a good bit of. I'm not taking magnesium. I don't feel necessarily the need for it right now, but that's just some supplemental information. In some countries, such as Australia, New Zealand, and the USA, borax can still be found in the laundry and cleaning sections of supermarkets. But evidently, it's, at least as of the writing of this article, in the European Union, borax has been banned. I don't know if that's still the case, but it makes sense that it would be if it's actually beneficial and these things are true, which I believe they are. Borax and boric acid have been classified as reproductive poisons in Europe, and since December 2010 are no longer available to the public within the European Union. Presently, borax is still available in Switzerland, but shipment to Germany is not permitted. Arthritis and osteoporosis affect about 30% of people in developed countries. Osteoporosis requires more long-term hospital care than any other individual disease. I didn't know that. I had no idea that osteoporosis was so devastating. This is a main source of income for the medical pharmaceutical system. If the boron-magnesium cure becomes widely known, this vital income stream will stop. The medical pharmaceutical industry cannot allow this to happen. I'm just reading from the article. So anyway, again, that's called the Borax Conspiracy. I'll leave a link. Okay, now I want to read to you from the book of Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah chapter 36, verse 4. Okay, now Jeremiah's Hebrew name was Yirmiyahu. And so that's how this starts out. And Yirmiyahu called Baruch, son of Neriyahu. And Baruch wrote on a scroll from the mouth of Yirmiyahu all the words of Yahuwah which he had spoken. Okay, so Baruch is introduced here in the book of Jeremiah chapter 36. And Baruch was a scribe of the prophet Jeremiah. Now also I want to include real quick that you just heard me use the name Yahuwah. All the words of Yahuwah which he had spoken to him. Yahuwah is the true Father's name. And I'm also going to leave a link to an excellent teaching about the Father's name, about the name of Yahuwah. It is entitled Restoring the Creator's Name, Hashem Revealed. And it comes from the channel Messenger of the Name. So I'm going to leave a link for that. I'm also going to leave a link for another great teaching on the Son's name, on Messiah's name, whom most people refer to as Jesus. But his name, his true Hebrew name is actually Yahushua. Okay, so I'm going to leave a link, and that teaching is an hour and 48 minutes long, but is well worth the time if you are interested in getting to know your Messiah better and getting to know his name. And that is also from the channel Messenger of the Name. So, the reason I read that from Jeremiah chapter 36, verse 4, is because it mentions this scribe Baruch. Now, Baruch had writings that were originally, that were in the King James, the 1611 King James. Okay, but the standard canon that we see today, you won't see books by Baruch. But we're going to read some from one of the books of Baruch. Okay, and it directly pertains to what we've been talking about regarding borax. So I'm going to be reading from the Sefer. Okay, the Sefer has 22 extra books in addition to the standard canon. Okay, so it's got the book of Enoch is in there, the book of Jasher is in there, 1st and 2nd Baruch. There is also other books by Ezra, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So just check it out, get it, and read it. So anyway, so this is from the book of 2nd Baruch. This is chapter 14, verses 16 through 19. But again, I will speak in your presence, O Yahuwah my Adonai, when of old there was no world with its inhabitants. You did devise and speak with a word, and forthwith the works of creation stood before you. And you did say that you would make for your world man as the administrator of your works, that it might be known that he was by no means made on account of the world, but the world on account of him. And now I see that as for the world which was made on account of us, lo, it abides, but we, on account of whom it was made, depart. Now the reason why I brought those verses out, I just wanted to bring that out because it is telling us that the world has been made for us. Okay? So this version of reality, and this version of cosmology that we've all been taught, for those who believe that, okay, you're not going to believe, you're not going to know that this world was actually made for you. Okay, that's, and the point of that is that if this world is made for us, then our Father Yahuwah is going to include things that are in this earth that are good for us. Okay, so the discovery of this right here, let me see it again. Sodium tetraborate, more commonly known as borax, is something that can work wonders in removing the fluoride, which is a poison from your body, to help you, and all the other things mentioned as well. It makes perfect sense that these things are there for us to discover and to use for our health. He has put this there for us. Okay? Now, on that note, okay, let's talk about, pharmakeia here for a minute, because what pharmakeia is this it's everything that allopathic medicine is based on. Okay, pharmaceuticals, these drugs, this sort of thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and read from Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. But as for the fearful and the unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and drug sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, their part is in the lake which burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. Now, in most English Bibles, you will see the word sorcerers only. But I use the scriptures in addition to the Sefer, okay? And I saw that verse included, or it appeared as drug sorcerers. And I was like, well, why does it appear as drug sorcerers? That's interesting. So I looked up the Greek word that corresponds with that, and the Greek word is Strong's Concordance 5332. And the Greek word that corresponds with drug sorcerers is pharmakeos, Pharmakeus. Okay, how about that? We're talking about, okay, everybody knows what a pharmacist is. Everybody knows what pharmaceuticals are. Where does that come from? This Greek word pharmakeos, and the definition of that is a druggist, pharmacist, or poisoner, i.e., by extension, a magician or sorcerer. Okay? So, this false system of drugs and this allopathic medicine that is used that usually makes people sicker and does not really help them at all, but simply profits from their diseases, okay, and from all the problems that they're having instead of actually helping them or healing them, okay, this is considered sorcery, specifically drug sorcery, by our Father Yahuwah. How about that? Okay, I want to read a few more verses. Revelation chapter 22, verses 12 through 15. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me, to give to each according to his work. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those doing his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, and to enter through the gates into the city. But outside are dogs, and those who enchant with drugs, and those who whore, and the murderers, and the idolaters, and all who love and make a lie. Okay. So there in Revelation 22:15, where we see those who enchant with drugs, the word is Strong's Concordance 5333, and it reads pharmakos, and it is the same definition. It is the same as 5332, pharmakeios, druggist, pharmacist, poisoner, by extension, magician, or sorcerer. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that out because I think that that is very interesting. And this is exactly what our medical system is based on, what our Maker considers sorcery. And He has given us things on the earth that can help our health, okay? And we do not need to spend your entire life savings on treatments that do not work. Chemotherapy being another one, radiation therapy, for cancer and so forth. I mean, on that note, I have a documentary on this channel as well. It's entitled The Cancer Industry, and that's well worth a watch as well. Just check that out if you're not familiar with this. I figure probably a lot of people who would come to this channel and do watch some of the videos that I make, they're already familiar with these things to a point. But I just wanted to bring this out, regarding some of the benefits of borax. So thanks for listening.